I gotta be honest. I think I'm a long ways away from making this channel successful. Like, and what I deem by success is, like thousands of views on videos as a regular thing every time I post. Partially that's because of just the way the creator economy is right now, but most of it's on me. So, just thinking about how do I make a good video? How do I make it better? How do I make it more interesting or something that people will want to watch? I mean, part of this too is just documenting my life as well through video game footage. It's just my voice, but I think like when I look at the amount of videos I posted already and all the work that's gone into them, the amount of work that's gone into this channel just to get to the state of monetization is insane. And some people do it way faster and they're really good at it. And they're working with a system and a formula. They do much more higher produced content. They're catering to an audience specifically. They're not just rambling on about themselves, which I'm doing right now. So there's a lot of factors working in their favor that are not working in my favor in this case. And I know a lot of the stuff I'm doing wrong, and I continue to do it anyway, like this video, which is more just talking about the channel and not really progressing things forward. Like progressing something forward has to do more with like an idea and thinking about the idea long enough to allow it to come to fruition, and then making that into a script, and then making that script have good visuals and having the editing be snappy, the hook is good and all that other jazz. But also the packaging, like the thumbnail and the title are so important. And I really don't give them enough attention. And maybe I will down the road spend more time on those things, because if you don't, all of that work that goes into the video kind of goes to waste. So I kind of see like as a YouTuber, like the longer you do this, the longer I do this, the more I realize why creators do build channels in certain ways. Like, not that they necessarily all of them sell out, but some do. But just the idea of like, if you're trying to make a business out of this, like, and trying to use this to support yourself, it's not, it's a marathon and a sprint. So definitely learning that more so now, because I like after like 150 videos, like I have been sprinting, but now I'm like, okay, I still output volume is still important, and I still put a lot of emphasis on do more volume, but it's not gonna happen right away. Like maybe you get lucky and your channel blows up overnight and you just got on the pulse of something, but it depends on what you're talking about. And especially when you're just trying to let something emerge naturally, it's going to take longer. I think I have to come to that acceptance that this channel is going to take a while to figure out what it is. And it's difficult too, like, if you want to make Let's Plays, for example. I like making them, they're fun. But I totally understand why people don't always want to commit to that. Like, they don't know if it's that reward, is that payoff's going to be worth it for them. I get that. That totally makes sense. Every video you make, even if the content is like somewhat good, there's something about the algorithm or getting in front of people that is really difficult. Like it's partially retention, it's partially repetition, it's partially credibility. There's a whole bunch of different factors at play. There is actually to have success, there is a lot of factors at play, and it might be easy to identify what worked when you look back in hindsight, but it doesn't always work that way. Not really. It's challenging to know why something worked and why it failed. Sometimes you can get an idea why something failed, but then something similar can succeed, and then you're like, well, why did that one succeed and the other one fail? it's challenging to identify all those variables. Like there is literally, it feels like an almost indefinite amount of variables that come into play for a video to succeed or not. And I mean, I know other people have said, oh, they have a viral formula and they're pretty good at reproducing viral content. They probably have a really good pulse on things. So maybe there's less variables than I'm making it out to be. Probably fundamentally comes down to like, what is it you're creating as a creator, and how do you want to build your channel and all that jazz. I've definitely felt like I've gotten better. You know, I felt like I've improved at speaking in general since I started. I'm a bit more comfortable on the camera or the microphone. I've gotten a little bit better at scripting videos, a little bit better at hooks, a little bit better at thumbnails, maybe. Debatable. You know, it feels like I'm slowly understanding some things, but also at the same time, I often feel like I'm missing something key that if I had, it would make the channel so much more successful, and I could still live by my authentic value of making content that is just stuff I want to make, that I like, and I'm not chasing after the algorithm. It feels like there's a key piece missing, and I haven't really identified what that is yet. And I'm hoping, well, ideally, that by, you know, video 200, 300, 500, whenever it is, I will kind of have that aha moment and things just click. Usually I record these videos now and I'm just ranting in the microphone because I don't know if there's any substance here. And I scrap them because, you know, it gets annoying just listening to someone talk about the same issues over and over again. That's also part of the channel, is these videos, because these videos are also giving you insight into what it's like to build something like this, which I think is kind of cool to provide, because not everyone gets to see that. A channel, like what it's like to be a creator as you're creating a channel. I think that's cool. I still want to have videos that are completely unrelated to meta content, that are like, you know, about other topics and ideas. That's important to me. But I also like these kind of videos because when I can get on the microphone and just talk, I feel like I can express something that I'm moving through, which is cool. And being able to follow along with that, if you're interested in that, I think it's kind of sick. You know, it's a weird feeling being a creator. It's weird trying to figure this out, especially with this method of trying to let the channel emerge over time. I only had a few intentions of just wanting to have game footage and a voice. I really like that. I think there might come a day where I decide to use a camera and film myself, but I don't know if I'd ever do a face reveal or anything like that. I kind of like things as they are right now. They're cool. Like watching one of my recent videos, Pilot Wings, I wouldn't say blow up, but perform well, which was over 1,000 views, which doesn't usually happen for most of my videos. I'm usually averaging around 10 to 15 views per video. Having it hit 1,000, actually 1,500 views, was pretty crazy. And I looked at the watch time. It was like 50 hours of watch time. I'm like, holy crap, that's so much watch time. That is, I get it now. I get it why people work so hard on one video, because that video will produce so much more watch time than like 10 crappy videos. It makes total sense. But at the same time, that method is the method I want to avoid, because I want to get to this. I have this idea that through enough volume of videos, of practicing scripts, of practicing moving straight from ideation into talking, that through enough practice of that, I will be able to naturally make good videos. Naturally. It sounds a little bit like it's a risk. It's a risk because I don't know if I'm right. I don't know if that's going to work. I'm still working on removing ums and ahs. I'm still working on avoiding talking in circles, avoiding talking about things I've talked about in the past too often, especially in reference to this channel or in reference to feelings I keep feeling that are out the channel. It's hard to do that. I'm working on it. And this video is sort of like a way for me to look back on and see what I was kind of struggling with in the creation of the channel, and also for other people to watch. So if they want to see the behind the scenes and in a way, a fraction of that behind the scenes. And yeah, I'll beat an idea like a dead horse until I kind of figure it out, you know? Or no, that was the wrong phrasing. Beat a dead horse with a stick. I think that's the right way to say it. But right now at this stage I'm here, I'm at this point where like even getting one video out a day is becoming more difficult, because sometimes I want to spend more time scripting it. Like this one I'm currently planning on publishing right now. I'm working in the edit room for the super video, which is when everyone's super, no one will be. The quote by Syndrome. If you're listening to this video now, that video's probably been published. If I actually publish this one that I'm talking about. Usually, like I said, I don't. I scrap them. Or what I'll do is I'll take this video, grab the subtitles for it, and then re-record it in a much more succinct manner, which provides the viewer or you with less time wasted and more content that is dense. That's another thing, is density of content. I've learned that like content density matters a lot. Like if your video has a lot to impart, I think it has a much greater chance of keeping people engaged, because they're learning a very dense idea. Some ideas are a bit shallow because they haven't been explored fully. They are the spark is there, but the flame is not. It's like trying to start a fire, and you know you see the spark and the spark's coming, but before like the wood catches fire, it's not much. Once the wood's burning, then you can see the idea has come to fruition. So I have learned that some videos which were really short needed to be longer, and some videos which were really long needed to be shorter. It's difficult to actually understand when that is. It feels very like an intuition that you have to develop. And I think that actually is the best way to articulate what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to develop intuition by making a lot of videos. Like, as in, the more videos I make, the better pulse on YouTube I get, the better intuition I have about just hitting record with an idea, doing whatever I need to do with the visuals to get the idea out there. And then once that idea is finished, wrapped up, package it nice as best I can, and then move on to the next one. And hopefully through that iteration of a crap ton of thumbnails and a crap ton of, talking and a crap ton of ideation, I will at some point have a much more natural read, a natural instinct of, when I make a video, is this video going to be good? Is it worth it? Do I need to spend more time on the ideation? Do I need to spend more time in the script? Do I need to spend more time with the thumbnail? Do I need to spend, where is it? Do I need to allocate my time so I can make this video a success? I am very obsessed with this idea of perfectionism through repetition. One of my favorite quotes is, and I'm probably going to butcher this, is I think it was from Bruce Lee, and you've probably heard this one before. I'm not afraid of the man who's practiced one kick 1,000 times. I'm afraid of the man. No, I'm not afraid of the man who has practiced 1,000 different kicks. I'm afraid of the man who has practiced one kick 1,000 times. In other words, this guy practiced one specific move so many times that he is so dialed in that one specific kick is one of his most powerful ways of expressing himself, and perhaps one of his most dangerous moves. Whereas if you had practiced 1,000 different kicks, you are maybe a little bit you have a great ability and variety, but you don't have anything that's like a real finishing move. One weapon that is so damaging that your opponent is now put into fear because of how polished that one specific kick is. And so I think about that idea, and I try to apply that to the things I do in my life, like the pursuits I have in my life. I'm also obsessed with this idea of mastery, which I got from Robert Greene, he's a great author. And I'm not sure if he was the one who coined the phrase or if it was a scientific study that was done, but it was in his book that mastery is roughly achieved around a 10,000 hour mark of doing something. Which is crazy, because when you think about that, like it's kind of just a ballpark number. It's more of just like, oh, nice fancy number, 10,000. It sounds nice. But like, when you do think about it, like if you did spend 10,000 hours doing one thing, like one skill, you would get pretty damn good at that skill. Like it's almost in a way inevitable to get good at that skill if you are practicing with some level of intention, even if your intention is somewhat poor. Like if I wanted to learn guitar, if I spent 10,000 hours just practicing scales, I would probably end up being a pretty good guitar player, especially if I knew like all the scales you could play on guitar. Because at a certain point, you would just be able to freestyle. Like you would know how certain notes go good together, and like perhaps you would just have a beat, a pulse on that instrument so well that in pretty much you put that person into any environment, they're going to be able to perform well. But that also depends. There's other skills too, like performance itself is a skill. There is that's why there's so many variables that also go into YouTube. Like it's not just just putting a video out there. It's the skill of ideation, the skill of hooks, the skill of the delivery in your voice, and in the content, the quality of the content itself after the hook, and the conclusion. Does it land? Does it help the person understand what it is you were trying to communicate? The visuals, the audio quality, the timing of the video. Is it relevant to what's going on in society today? Is it something that intrigues people or not? Like there's just so many different variables, and that happens across all skills. So mastery, when you think about it, it should take a minimum of 10,000 hours. There's just so many things that you need to learn to be able to have this fluid ability to express yourself. And I love this idea. I absolutely adore this idea of being really good at something. Not because of status, not because you can say, I'm better than you at this thing. Absolutely not. I think that is one of the most vapid reasons to do something. There is status that comes with mastery, but if you're doing it for that reason, most likely you're not going to be pretty happy with the outcome if you do get there. Maybe, but status itself is kind of something that I think it's better as a byproduct, but not something to focus on. No, what's really interesting about mastery, what is so fascinating about it, is the ability to enter this flow state as you're doing something. The ability to feel so connected, so in tune, so there, present in this moment of challenge where you are feeling the challenge and successfully, correctly meeting that challenge in that moment. And one of the most beautiful things about flow is that you can tell when someone is in a flow state. You can be there right with them in that moment, and it is beautiful. One of the best ways to feel this is to go to a live concert or a live music and really listen. Like, not passively listen where you can hear it in the background. No, like put your full focus and attention on that instrument as they are playing it. You will be able, oftentimes, if the musician is good, you will be able to feel that exact flow that they are also in. And it's a beautiful thing. It is a beautiful thing. And I love and adore that idea so much. And I want to be able to experience that state of flow. I really, really, really want to be able to experience that state of flow because it just seems so intensely beautiful and wonderful. A state that few humans really ever get to achieve, because a lot of us give up on our dreams, give up on our goals or our aspirations or our skill sets before they ever get to reach that level of mastery. And so when I think about a career path, or I think about a hobby or something I want to do in my life, I really think about what would it be like to be at this state of flow in that skill set, in that area. And would I really want to experience it there in that area? And if the answer is yes, that is actually a fantastic reason to go and pursue that thing with just violent amounts of volume and go get after it. And like, even though you were going to suck for so long at that skill, for however long it takes, there will come a time, should you stick with it long enough, that reward will be so deeply rewarding for you. And if there's any reason to do something, to give a singular focus to something, it's not, for me, it's not for the monetary gain, not for the status, not for all the byproducts of the mastery itself, but the feeling of flow. That is beautiful.